Hey, hello everybody. It's James here from ItsMuchMore. Thank you very much for being with us, and it's a special evening tonight. This is the Evercade's unofficial Facebook groups live session. So yeah, I'm glad to be a host. We've got 4 great guys that are going to be here, and we've also got a special guest in one of those as well. So without further ado, also questions have appeared in live chat. We'll get through to reading those. We've got some of our questions already lined up that we're going to talk amongst each other, and then we'll just answer some of your questions as well. So if you want to put any questions in the comments field, by all means do so, in the live chat field, and we'll get those read out as best as we can. So apologies if there's any slowdown or frame rate issues or anything like that. This is the first time I've ever done anything like this before. So let's try and invite the guys in. So let's start from the very beginning. So here we go. We can do one by one. There we are. There's Pete.
Hi,
There's
hello.
Andy, our special guest for this evening.
Hello.
There is Martin as well from Evercade.info. And last but no means
Hey guys.
there is Roger from the
How's it going?
unofficial. Cool. So here we all are. So let's take that off the that scrolling banner. We don't need that no more. Right. So here we all are. So let's do a little introduction to each of us. So as at the start of this video, I said I'm James from ItsMuchMore, and at ItsMuchMore, what we do is we take our retro gaming setups to various locations and provide them with games, so like pubs, clubs, and all that sort of stuff. But as the COVID, we ain't done that for a little while. But our main website as well, we do news and reviews for everything else, apart from well, everything else, including gaming. So yeah. So let's move on to the next person on the panel. We have Pete. So just do a little intro about yourself, my friend.
Hello, my name's Pete, or my gamer tag Plain Joker. I'm from sunny side of Dorset in the UK, and I love anything retro and modern as well. And hope you enjoy the show tonight.
Very good. Cool. Nice one.
Hi, I am. Oh, is that my turn?
It's your turn, Andy. Yes, mate.
It's my turn. I'm Andy. I'm from the UK Kraut Gaming channel on YouTube. I'm from Chatham in Kent, even though I've got a northern accent. And I hope you enjoyed the show tonight.
Nice one. All right, we're going to move on to Martin now.
Hey everybody, I'm Martin, and I've set up the Evercade Info website, and I'm into a lot of retro and modern gaming, and if you can't tell already, I'm from Ireland.
Great stuff, and thank you very much. So next we're going to move on to Roger.
Hello everybody, I'm Roger. I created Fans Group on Facebook. I know most of you are there. I live in Grimsby, but I'm originally from Devon, so if I've got a southern mixed northern accent, that's the reason why.
Great stuff. So that is our panel for this evening, and this is the very first session that we're doing here. So if there's any teething problems, I'm learning the product as well. It's using StreamYard, so it's basically free, and you can do all the fun things that I'm doing here. So let's see what we've got first then, shall we? Question wise, I think we've done all of these actually so far at the start. Now that's this one for you guys. It's for the people that are watching. So if you have any questions, you want them answered live on the show, then by all means put those in the comments field below, and then they will appear on the screen like this one, and we'll try and do our best as we can to answer it for you.
I saw a question.
You saw a question? Let's have a look. We've got, wow, there's 17 questions piled up. So let's get some of those out of the way first, shall we? So they're going to appear on the screen. So we can go back to the very beginning, because some of those are people that are excited about the show beginning. So here we are. So these are the people that have said they're excited about it. So Jason South is looking forward to the show.
Hey, Jason.
Hello, Jason.
Hello, Jason.
There we are, Jason. Nice one. You've got your name in lights there, and also everyone's saying hello to you as well.
Hey, real generic demon. Nice one.
Nice name.
Yep.
Nice name, nice name.
Good game, that.
That's it. Right, and it's moving through this list here. I think this is an emoji. I don't know if that's going to appear correctly, but we'll see. Does it work?
That's it. I see a
Yep.
square
Yeah.
box.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
It's
Yep.
square.
Parent.
Oh, okay. It appears. And what's the next one? Just get these comments out of the way first, and then we'll do our own questions. So Bob
I think
Stevenson.
we all are. I think we are all are, Bob. Thanks for being
Yep.
here.
We all are.
Yeah. Another Stevenson. Nice one.
Yeah.
So next one, get all these done. We've got 8 people watching us so far, which is great. And if you are watching this video back afterwards, by all means, any questions that we miss off, we'll appear those in the next session as well, and try and answer those as best as we can. So Real News is also here for some serious Evercade action.
Who's here for the draw at the end?
Yeah.
Always a special draw at the very end of this show. So if you stay at the very end, by all means, there's a nice little draw.
I don't think Andy knows about that, does he?
No, he doesn't.
Yeah,
So if you want
I
to,
read about it.
Oh, did you? Oh, brilliant.
Yeah.
great stuff. So I do apologize if you are just watching these comments come through. We just a backlog of them just at the start. So there's everyone just talking to themselves. So that's great. You guys can do that. So what we got here then? So here's our first question, and then after that we'll just go through some of the questions that we have.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm really wishing for it.
Yeah, I hope so.
Oh, I really, really do. Yeah. I mean, they've been talking about it, haven't they? So, hinting, should I say, at it?
Yeah.
So
They've left the 2-player modes on, so I really think we're going to see something soon.
yeah, that's it. Yeah, because it's been absolutely pointless having it at the moment. So I think that's a big, big hint.
Yeah, and they had made a comment, I think, on Twitter where they said not on the current gen, or not quite that obvious, but it was kind of hinting there could be another generation. So they weren't saying we're not going to do multiplayer. It's just not multiplayer on this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
That's it. Very good question there, Jason. Thank you very much. So what we got next? So if you see the cameras changing, I'm just messing around. Hello there, Brendan. Great stuff.
I think it's like we've all said, it's coming.
Yeah.
I think they'll be very silly if they don't do it. I think myself. I think they need to. There's a lot of multiplayer games, really.
And probably they're testing out the market in a way with the handheld, and depending on how well it does, which it's done very well, you know, it'll run a lot.
That they have, quite a few times they've said it's coming, and also those arcade ports as well. I mean, that's some questions I'm going to say later on as well, saying what our favourite games and cartridges are and publishers. So that's going to be a quite a fun question to say later on down the line. So got these last few comments coming through. Actually, there's not a few; they just keep refreshing. So by all means, if you wanted to, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a question up, and then if we want to talk it amongst themselves, so one of our questions, and then we'll go back to the comments in the chat room afterwards.
Okay.
So if we start from the very beginning, so this one, let's have a look. So this is to us. So each of the panel members are going to answer this question. So who are you and where are you from? So like we said at the start, I mean, I'm from Nottingham, but originally from Dagenham, and I was in a gaming clan called UK Rockers. So I then started my gaming journey, and that's why my gamer tag's called Dreamcast UK. So I started online gaming for the Dreamcast, but since then started a new website and brand called ItsMuchMore. So it's all going all right, but we'll see what happens in years to come. So we're going to move on now to Pete as well. So if there's anything you want to add to that for yourself.
Yeah, I'm Pete. Like I said, I'm from Dorset. Been into gaming really since Pong, really, right back from the early days. I've virtually owned every games console, every computer you could possibly imagine. I've got a few little minis behind me. Hopefully it won't fall down, but you know, hopefully. I love anything gaming, if I'm honest. You know, it's never grow old of it, I suppose. Yeah, that's it really. Just love anything gaming. Can talk about gaming for years, to be honest.
Great stuff. Right, we're going to move on to Andy now.
As I said, I'm from Chatham in Kent. I mean, I'm a very mixed person. I'm German by birth. I come from the northeast of England, and I've settled here in Kent. I've loved gaming forever. I mean, literally, retro was new when I was a kid, so there you go. I've always been into it. Absolutely love my handhelds more than anything. And yeah, I'm just an old fart, really. What can you say? Yeah, and I started my channel about a year and a half ago because everybody was bored with listening to me, and I thought I needed to find some like-minded people. My family's eyes were glazing, and I thought it's time to move on. So yeah, that is why I started my YouTube channel. And that's about it, really. Yeah.
Great stuff. A very good YouTube channel it is as well. So I watch a lot of your
Thank
videos.
you.
No problem. Right, we're going to move on to Martin now.
Yeah, so as I said before, I'm in Ireland. I'm in the Midlands of Ireland, living pretty much in the middle of a farm. I've always been into retro, like Andy said, back from when retro was new. I used to cycle down to a local pub that had Space Invaders and Bump and Jump and play them down there. Back in 2000, 2001, I had a MAME ROMs website for a couple of years, and I've always been dipping in and out of gaming. I suppose I've come to terms lately with, being fine and not saying I'm an old guy who plays games, whereas I suppose when I was in my 30s, I was almost kind of hiding it to a certain extent. But as you get older, you kind of just say, screw it. I like gaming, and I'm always going to be like that.
Oh, yes.
Well said.
Great stuff. Right, we're going to move on now to Roger. Very well said, by the way. So we're going to move on to Roger now.
Hello again. Who am I? Well, I'm Roger Olver. I'm from Devon. I moved up here with my wife about 12 years ago to Grimsby. I've always been into gaming since I was 4 or 5 years old, when the first console I had was the Atari 2600, which I still absolutely love because it's my console. And the latest one being the Switch. Absolutely love the Evercade and doing everything I can to support it. And hopefully my group is too.
Great stuff. Very good. Right, so very good. There's the Evercade there, ready to play again. That's what we do quite a lot. So yeah, let's get back to the full screen. There we all are. Right, so that question is out of the way, and there's loads of comments coming in, and there's a backlog of them as well. So I need to go through each of them. So what we'll try and do then for this is we'll do a question of us and then a question from you guys. Let's go from the very top. So if I've missed anyone, I do apologize. So what we got then? We got this person here. That's just saying hello to us in the live stream. So you should see it on your screen in just a moment.
Bye.
There you go. Pineapple pizza.
That's my son.
Oh, hello there.
That's Josh.
What have we got here? The next question. Oh yeah, I watched a couple of your videos with Josh, including those. They're pretty cool.
That's right. Yeah, he appears in quite a few of them. Yeah.
Right. So Real News has asked, what would be your dream kart guys from one publisher? Okay, so we start from me then. So obviously I'm a big Sega fan, but there are Sega fans here as well. I mean, I would say Sega, but are they going to bring out all their Mega Drive titles? I say Capcom would be good to have.
It's a hard question, James.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's I say Capcom because I've got so much Sega stuff, and it'll be I've not got the Capcom arcade cabinet thing or that arcade stick. So yeah, it'd be good to have some Capcom games on there. So let's move on to Pete. What would your dream kart be from a publisher?
Of course, dream kart. It'd be Ultimate Play the Game. I loved the ZX Spectrum back in the day. There were some classic games like Underworld, Saber Wolf, Night Law. So and I love those sort of 3D sort of style sort of games. So for me, it'd be Ultimate Play the Game.
Great stuff.
That's it.
Good. So up next we have Andy.
I'm afraid it would be it's going to be a tie, guys, between Konami and Capcom. Definitely. Oh, just some of the best bloody franchises there, aren't there? So yeah, for me, it is really between the two. I can't choose between them.
That's it. Yeah, some great franchises there, and what a back catalogue they've got as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, let's move on to Martin now. What would your selection be?
I would say Capcom is one of them, but one that jumps to mind would be Taito on the arcade things like
Yeah.
Arcade, all those brilliant arcade games. I would say a Taito type collection would be brilliant when the arcade stuff comes out.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Great stuff. So I do apologise if there's any interference as well that's appearing. I don't know if that's either myself or any other people in the background that are hearing, like say a television or whatnot. But if that is affecting anyone listening, I can only apologise if that's happened. This is all new to me as well, but all good. But we're going to move on now to Roger. So thanks for that, Martin, as well. We're going to move on to Roger now.
Hey guys, what a question to ask. That's real toughie. I've loved games for so long. If it was Capcom, I would want Marvel Superheroes and Marvel Superheroes 2 because they're fantastic games. If it was back on the Dreamcast, I would want something with Tony Hawk's and Jet Set Radio on because I love them. Maybe Metropolis Street Racer on there as well. I love Konami. I think they're brilliant. I love Taito, especially Bubble Bubble. Don't mention that because it makes my eyes light up. It really does. Nope. If it was Atari, I know there's an Activision anthology on the PS2, but I'd like to see it on Evercade, and I think it's very possible. I don't know. I don't think I want to see Binatone games on the Evercade, but you never know.
Yeah. It is a good question. It is a really good question.
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
They're all good. They're all good.
They're all good, and it would be good to see any of them on there, really. But I mean, there is a new publisher coming, but you know, who could that be? Nobody knows. Well, some people know.
Hey, even a bit of Mastertronic. Do you know what I mean? You know, it's anything like that sort of lines. Really?
Yeah.
Even if they did a cartridge with, with the old Game and Watches on, I'd probably buy that.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I mean? They're all, yeah.
But because they've numbered all the cartridges, we'd all buy it, right? Just to have the collection.
Yeah.
See, I live in a fantasy world because my ultimate cartridge in the whole wide world would be, and I know you're going to think I'm completely balmy, but Gizmondo games revived onto one cartridge. I know there's only a tiny catalogue, 20 games, but bang them on there. And then I'll wake up and it was all a dream.
Hi, Yoshi Games.
Hi.
I mean, they tried that like Tiger Electric's one with the Alien Hominid. If you ever played that game, that was a little bonus game.
Yeah. That actually cool. That was on the Gizmondo as well. It was originally going to go to the Gizmondo, and then it was cancelled when it failed, of course. Yeah, and it went to the PSP and what have you. Yeah, and the Game Boy Advance. Yeah.
Wow, good bit of knowledge there. And I've seen your Gizmondo videos as well. All good.
Yeah, I'm the one person who still loves it.
So I've got people saying hello there in the chat as well. So hello to everybody that's tuning in. Trying to get your questions read out as quickly as I can. Oh, what's that? Let's zoom that in.
PSP,
hold on a second.
Original PSP. My screen's scratched there, but it's not the main screen. The main screen's inside there. But it's my PSP. Not sure which one it was. 1000, I think.
Wow, very good. Very good indeed.
It goes with me with my Evercade, so you know.
Yeah.
That's it.
Fantastic handheld. Right. Fantastic.
As long as nobody's saying N-Gauge collection they want or something like that,
What's our favourite cart? Is that for the Evercade or is that something else for a different machine reel?
I presume the Evercade, would it be?
Yeah.
So yeah, we've got that question coming up later on as well. So yeah, we will answer that as a collective later on. Yeah. So that's one of our questions. So yeah, good question as well. And if we're talking about Nokia N-Gauge, I've got a little Nokia N-Gauge collection, and I've also got a little Nokia N-Gauge kiosk as well. So
well, I'm jealous, very, very jealous. I've got the N-Gauge collection, nearly the full set, but I've been trying to get hold of a kiosk for a long time. Yeah, very jealous.
Well, Nokia gave them to me. I had 2 kiosks. So when I was doing my events, Nokia just gave me 1 kiosk that had a cute. No, they gave me 3 kiosks. They gave me 2 N-Gauge QD ones with 2 N-Gauge QDs in them, so you can play LAN against each other. So like virtual tennis against each other.
I saw them.
Nice.
Yeah, and because basically they said take them to your events that you do, and then we never did any events because nobody wanted to play the N-Gauge at an event. We just kept the kiosks.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
it's all good. Yeah. Right, we'll go next. What's it?
Oh, I think I've answered that one really.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've all kind of gone with publishers with arcade games, haven't we?
Yeah, I don't mind what I see, to be honest. I'll
It's
just be
got to
happy
be,
to see an arcade ROM.
got to be Konami, Midway, Capcom,
Yeah.
anything like that. Taito,
I think
Yeah.
That's it.
Irem,
Typo, yeah.
Yeah.
Data East.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They could just bring
Question,
out
yeah.
shoot 'em up arcade, wouldn't bother me.
Namco.
Anything arcade. Yeah, do you know what I mean? Anything arcade.
They could do a cross-genre cart as opposed to a publisher cart. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah.
That would be good. That would be
Yeah.
really, really good, because there's such a lot of fantastic games from each genre that could go onto that cartridge from different publishers and be in one nice collection. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, totally agree with that.
I put this question onto Evercade's Discord earlier and onto Twitter and in our Facebook group and the main and the official Facebook group. And I said, if Evercade can't get the full license to a publisher, why don't they start looking at series and what would you like to see? And people were saying like Gradius and Final Fight and things like that. And why not?
Yeah.
It's good for it'd be good for the publishers to still be selling their old games, and it'd be good for us as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Indeed. So we've got Yoshi Games has asked, what is your best console? Okay, so we have that question coming up later, but we might as well answer it now because we're talking about gaming and stuff like that. So my best console straight away is the Sega Dreamcast, of course.
Go on, Pete.
So let's
Yeah,
have a look. So, Pete,
mine is exactly the same, the Sega Dreamcast. If I'm honest, if it wasn't for the Sega Dreamcast, really sort of started all this internet game. And I know it was done with PCs a little bit earlier on, but the Dreamcast really molded that and put sort of games you get today. They sort of started all that cell shading and all that sort of thing. And, Dreamcast has really got a lot not to answer for, but a lot, big of what games we get today, I think. Metropolitan Street Racer, that sort of started the sort of style racing games we've got now, probably Forza Horizon and other similar games. Yeah, the Dreamcast all the way for me. They need to bring out a Dreamcast Mini. They need to fight for a Dreamcast Mini.
Dreamcast Mini. We can talk about that later. I mean, because what games did you include? We'll talk about that later on. Great stuff. So up next we have Andy. So what is your best console?
See, this is a difficult one because I love them all. But as a handheld, obviously, as I say on my channel all the time, the Gizmondo, as a special place in my heart, was I was part of the Gizmondo forums and the whole hacking scene back in the day, naughtily. But another one for me is the Atari Jaguar. The Atari Jaguar is one I've been collecting since they were discounting them out in the shops, and I bought the lot with nearly all the games at the time, all the European games. And that's why I love that one so much, because I've invested so much into it. But I totally agree with the Dreamcast guys. It changed my life when that came out. It was fantastic, absolutely fantastic. So it's very difficult to choose one in particular.
Cool, great stuff. Thank you very much for that, Andy. Right, we're going to move on now to Martin.
Yeah, again, a very difficult question. I really like them all. If I go back, I loved my Mega Drive and I loved my Dreamcast, but I think favorite of all, I'd have to go back to the original Game Boy, because I think it brings me back to a particular time when I was in college and I used to play it going up and down on the train at the weekends, and I just love some of the games on it, and some of them still hold up really well today, and I still play mine, and I even love that form factor in the hand. There's just something about it, and it's that little chunky brick. It would have to be the OG Game Boy, I think.
Very good, very good. I mean, I only had 4 games for my Game Boy, which are Muhammad Ali Boxing, Kirby's Dream Land, F1 Race, and 007 James Bond. They're the only Game Boy games I had. But yeah, that was a great handheld. So well done then. Thanks, Martin. And lastly, we're going to move on to Roger now. So what is your best console?
I don't know. I'm thinking about. I love the Switch now. I think it's very, very current and it's brilliant. All the access to the retro games you can get on there now. I've got a PlayStation 4, which I like, but I use it more for streaming than that. I used to love the Wii. Absolutely love the Wii and all the games on that. And I mean all the games because I had nearly all of them. Don't ask. Early learning how to mod. Dreamcast, I think I'd probably go with you guys on that, because when I first got it, it was when I actually first got a home telephone as well. So I used to plug it in and play Quake 3 online. I used to love that.
Landline, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, landline, the little dial-up square on it and all that. Yeah. And I had the keyboard so you could type on it. I actually got rid of my Dreamcast about 13, 14 years ago because the CD drive started to knacker up, and at that time there wasn't a mode or or a Fenrir or Satiator or anything like that. Yeah. So I wish I had kept it, because I had like 30 odd games for it, but I sold it cheap. One of my biggest regrets. So the person who asked about which console I had the biggest regret selling it was my Dreamcast. Yeah, I think I probably would go with Dreamcast, because I can remember sitting there for hours and hours and playing Crazy Taxi and Metropolis Street Racer. And I didn't even like racing games.
I think it was ahead of its time, really.
It was an awesome game.
Oh, yeah. It knocked the PlayStation 1 on its ass, basically.
Oh, completely.
But just didn't have the support that the PlayStation 1 has. So when PlayStation 2 came out, that was the end of the Dreamcast.
Yeah, I was so sad.
What I loved about the Dreamcast was it was like having an arcade in your house, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was different games. It was different games. You know, that was the thing. There were original ideas in games. You know, Jet Set Radio, Metropolis.
I wish we could have had the controllers we have now for a Dreamcast back then.
Yeah.
Yeah. That big funky thing was like.
I loved it, but it was too big, wasn't it? It was too big.
Yeah. Yeah. Very responsive there.
Little games on the VMU. It tried to do so much, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just used to remember taking my VMU with F355 saved car on it and take it to the arcades and then put that into an arcade cabinet, because you had the F355 arcade machine. So I had my loaded color palette car. So just when I used to race somebody, or just sit there until somebody else would sit next to me in the arcade and race me, because I was actually really good at it, because I used to play that online quite a lot, F355 challenge. And it's just nice to take that to my little VMU with me everywhere I went.
Oh, fantastic! Yeah.
That's why I say it was original. You know, whoever thought of ideas like that. I think Nintendo didn't they? A few years before, did they bring out, or someone, or Sony? Was it Sony brought out something quite similar?
Sony brought out the Pocket Station, wasn't it?
That's it. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But now I can remember getting Skies of Arcadia, which is a classic game.
Yeah.
Right, and I can remember putting the disc in, and I played it from start to end. It didn't matter how long it took, how many days it took. I can remember just playing that game. That was just a game, really. I can just always remember playing it.
Oh, it was, again, fantastic title. Wow.
Original ideas at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Fancy
blew you away graphic.
Yeah.
Indeed. Very good question there. Thanks, Yoshi Games. We're going to move on to the next question. I think a lot of our questions are going to be put aside because there's so many questions coming in. We'll try and get to them as soon as we can. So what we've got here then from SFC, Ryan A.
Yeah, I thought he might ask this.
So sports games.
Yeah, I'd like to see that.
That would be good. Yeah, Sensible Soccer is good.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah.
They did a lot of good games, didn't they? So if we saw a Sensible Software,
Like
joint cartridge, you can see Cannon Fodder. Yeah, you can see a lot of the games like that.
Yeah.
I was always a fan of the Madden games. I used to love the Madden games. I don't know why, but I just thought they were brilliant games. Madden games.
I'll tell you what, I'm not I've said this many times before, I'm not the hugest sports title fan, but when they do a good, for instance, baseball game, a good tennis game, oh, fantastic, you know. I do occasionally play football and what have you. I'm not the hugest fan, as I say, but there's plenty out there that are fantastic.
One game I would love to see on the Evercade, and it was probably my all-time favourite sports game, was NHL Hockey. I think it was 94.
Yeah.
Mega Drive.
That was
NHL 94. Hockey 94.
Is that where they beat each other up?
Yeah, me and my mates used to I don't know, we just used to, I wouldn't even know what, I ain't going to say live what we used to do, but we used to have after night, let's put it that way.
Yeah.
That used to just be one game we just played. I think it was NHL 94. That would be a big game.
I have to agree with you. I'm not a big sports games fan, but I remember playing the NHL games, and I absolutely love them. and I loved the top spin games on the Dreamcast as well.
Yeah.
It's just playability. It wasn't necessarily. It's just they were a great game, regardless. You know.
So top spin on the Xbox original and the virtual tennis games on the Dreamcast. Yeah.
Virtual tennis.
Yeah.
Virtual tennis. That's it. Was it virtual? Yeah. You're right.
Virtual tennis, fantastic franchise. I think, honestly, in all honesty, I think that and Mario Tennis are the best, in my opinion, tennis games. I love them to bits.
Yeah, they're great. They're very good. And we've got another question here. So, because I didn't put the last comment up because it was just said what console, and what they actually did want to say was, what console do you regret selling? So I'll start off. The console I regret selling. There's a couple. I sold an N64 with loads of box games to some guy for 28 quid. So I regret selling that. I had an Atari Jaguar boxed, an Atari Lynx boxed, and loads of games for each of them. I bought them from Game Station before they closed because they're in the window. I bought them both for 50 quid, and I sold them for like 30 quid for the lot. So those I regret selling. So we're going to move down the line then. We're going to go on to Pete. So do you regret selling any consoles? And if so, which ones?
Yeah, unfortunately, I regretted selling my favourite one, which is my Dreamcast. I had quite a huge library, actually. I had a lot of Japanese imports, especially shoot 'em ups, all with their original spines and everything. And I sold it to a collector at the end of the day, probably 11 years ago. I have bought another one since, but I've sold that on. Don't know why. I'll probably end up buying another one, but that's probably my biggest regret for selling my Dreamcast.
Oh well, but have you got one since, or?
Yeah, I haven't. I bought one 2 years ago. I bought one off a mate of mine who had a few games, and you know what? It just sat there. I didn't even think I even plugged it in, and I had one of those mad moments where, I just thought, I'll sell it on. Do you know what I mean? I'd rather someone got the use out of it, because all these minis started coming out. So I've really, really got into buying these mini consoles. Some of these, I've not even opened or played. I just buy them because I love them. I just think they're brilliant. Such a brilliant retro thing to have.
Indeed. Very well said, Pete. All right, we're going to move now on to Andy. So what console do you regret selling, if you have?
Well, I've replaced it since, I have to say, and all the games. But at one time, I had actually a launch Atari Jaguar. Back then, I had a business. I was a fishmonger, and we'd just lost the business. The rent was due. And what do you do? Needs must. And it was the one that was worth the most money at the time. So away it went. But as I say, luckily enough, I've managed to replace it all. But still to this day, I really regret it, because I just literally got my rent money for it. And when you worked it all out, it was nothing. So yeah, that is my biggest regret. And maybe a couple of developers' consoles that I've sold over the years. But yeah, the Atari Jaguar really hurt. But needs must.
Indeed. Very well said there, Andy, as well. Thanks. And we're going to move next on to Martin.
Yeah, like Pete was saying, it's definitely the Dreamcast. Maybe about 12 years ago, when I hadn't been really back into my retro, I had a Dreamcast. I had the the proper arcade stick. I had the light guns. I had all the accessories, like a huge library of games, and I just sold the whole lot for like less than 100 quid. And I have since replaced it. I have a Dreamcast. I restored, retro-brighted, and put a GDE EMU in it, and kind of. Oh. It's great. I love it, but that was definitely my biggest regret selling that. I keep going, why did I sell that? Because I'm pretty good at hanging on to a lot of my stuff, or maybe it's not that I left them in my parents' attic, so I couldn't get at them when I had moved out and gone to college and stuff. But the Dreamcast, I still regret selling that. Yeah.
It's crazy how people saying their favorite console is the Dreamcast, and the console they regret selling and getting rid of is the Dreamcast. So yeah, it's pretty cool to see that you got it back again. So yeah, right. Lastly, we're going to move next on to Roger.
Well, I've already said it was my Dreamcast, so I'm just going to give you a little announcement from Evercade while we're here. So they asked me to pass a message on just to say that next week they have a new community manager, and he will be in touch with anybody that contacts them, whether it's Facebook, Discord, Twitter, possibly YouTube. because obviously they're so busy. They've had to take somebody else on to help them. So if we can still give them our support while they're sorting that out, that'd be brilliant.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
They deserve every bit of support.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
Yep.
Indeed.
I've got a few more announcements later.
Great stuff. Well, I'm going to try and get through these some of these comments as quick as I can. Some of them, a lot of them are like repeated, so I'm not going to go through them just as much. But yeah, if you have commented and I've missed it out, I do apologise. But we could even use that in later episodes as well. So let's have a look here. So we do this question here, and it's another one from Yoshi Games. Yoshi. So, what is your favourite part about the Evercade? So my favourite part about the Evercade is the HDMI mini port, because I've not got a Switch. I've got a Game Gear, and I thought if I bought that TV adapter cable, I could actually plug it into a TV and play it like a Switch, but that didn't work. But actually playing the Evercade on my TV or a monitor or whatnot is actually quite fun, because I've done that more than I've used with the as a handheld itself anyway. So yeah. So that was my answer to that one. So, Pete, have you got a favourite part about the Evercade?
Yes, the D-pad. It just reminds me of the Sega Saturn. The Sega
Nice.
Saturn D-pad on that was absolutely awesome. You just could not fault that at all. And that is exactly the same. It's just like they've just taken the Sega Saturn D-pad and they've just put it straight into that. Absolutely brilliant. And the buttons as well. The buttons have a nice sort of solid sort of feel to them, but for me, it's the D-pad.
Good stuff. Great stuff there. Thanks, Pete. Andy, what about yourself?
For me, I think the biggest thing is the price. I mean, you get this quality flipping product. It is sturdy. The parts are obviously good quality plastics and what have you. The screen is lovely. And it's that price. I mean, it's just incredible that you can get such a nice little handheld for that price. And then, of course, all those developers on these cartridges, it just blows me away. $14.99 a cartridge. I can't get over it still. Really can't.
Indeed, yeah. Great price, and for what you're getting as well. And each, like you say, $14.99 for, say, the Atari collection, 20 games on each. It's like,
yeah, exactly. When you think a modern game will cost you anything up to £60, that shows you what quality you've got. Yeah.
Totally agree. Thanks, Andy. Right, Martin, how about yourself?
I think it's the fact that it's cartridge based and there's a smaller selection of games. I mean, I have, my retro gaming things. I have an RG350. I've had all the arcade ROMs and stuff, and it's like paralysis. You have thousands of ROMs and you end up playing just one or two, or you play ones for 10, 20 seconds and say, oh, no, I'll play something else. Whereas this, it's a community of people playing the same games and sticking with them, and you actually stick with it and you start to actually discover games where you wouldn't have even tried it before. So I think the fact that I love that they're cartridges and the little box and the manual and all of that, but it's just a different feel because you have a limited selection, but because it forces you to play them and find out about them. And I think we kind of lost that with a lot of the kind of retro Chinese consoles that are out now. And that's what I really like, I think.
I tell you what, you are so right there, because you know what I get bored with when I'm playing emulators, is going through this list of hundreds of flipping games, and then by the time you've done that, you spend 20 minutes and you're bored and you turn it off anyway.
Yeah, it's a bit like Netflix.
It's too much.
Back in the day, you watch whatever was on telly because it's all you had, and now with Netflix, you spend so much time trying to figure out what you'll watch that you don't watch it.
You don't watch anything, yeah.
Totally agree.
Absolutely.
Right, Roger, you're up next. How about yourself?
It's portable and I can take it everywhere with me. And to be honest, it's mine. My kids don't really pay any interest in wanting to have a go on it. And I can take it upstairs and plug it into the TV whenever I want. So it's brilliant for what I want, and I can play all those old games.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good answer there, and thank you very much. Right, so we're going to get through some more of these questions because there's so many building up, and I'm just, because people are responding to us talking about things, so I'm going to just zip through them as quick as I can. So let's try and get through these then, shall we? So what we got? So
it could happen.
I've been asking the official Evercade about 8-bit computing. Yeah, that would totally happen. It would be amazing.
I would love a Commodore 64 version. I know there's people that love the Spectrum collection as well. There's some fantastic old, home computer games as well as console. That would be fantastic.
Hi,
It
Bunny.
would be absolutely amazing.
So I think the problem with that is they've got the minis, haven't they? They've got like the Vega and they've got the C64. But again, I think having that cartridge still on the Evercade would be awesome.
Yeah.
Would be awesome. Again, people just got some nostalgic for it, aren't they?
Yeah.
Most people, especially in Britain, we had the microcomputers. We didn't have the bloody game crash and all that rubbish in America. We had microcomputers that were keeping us going. We were banging off games in our bedrooms. There's a nostalgia for it. And I think Evercade and Blaze really need to go for those cartridges because people remember them.
Yeah. And there's no faffing around. I mean, it's fine if you're techie, and lots of people are, but most people aren't. So you can just, you're not messing with an emulator, ROM sets, any of that. It's there, you plug and play, and that's it. Yeah, and then
even with the Vega and the C64 mini, to add your games that you want on there, it takes a lot of work round. So to have it on the Evercade, just bang a cartridge in, bang, it's there. You're absolutely right. Yeah.
Totally agree. What we got next?
It is a no-brainer.
Yeah, it is a no-brainer.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. Very well
said. You're not going to get a deal like that anywhere else.
Yeah.
No, absolutely.
Let's face it, Evercade might do a premium console a little bit down the road, but at the moment, for that price, I'd say buy it, and then if you do buy a premium console, give the other one to your wife or your partner or whoever.
Yeah, like me, I'm been after a black one for ages that I want for myself because I'm going to give the white one to the kids. Because let's say none of us want our kids to play with it, do we? Really? Because they break things. Yeah.
Have you seen the price they go for on eBay? They go for nearly 250 quid now for a black one without any games.
Crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's crazy.
I'm going to say something very shameful here, but I've just spent 50 quid on a coin.
I haven't got one.
I wanted it so badly. I thought, you know what, I'm going to have to pay for it. So there you go. Yeah.
If I had known then what I know now, I ended up just getting like the Evercade in Argos as a kind of an impulse buy because it was kind of will I, won't I? And now I'm spending more money on getting all the games. If I just bought the bloody collection at the start, I would have saved.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
That's what I did.
I made the mistake of mix and matching. So most of my games from Argos turned up on time. And then the ones I got from Amazon got cancelled completely out of the blue. So I had to get them again from elsewhere. So really, I think the best place, in my personal opinion, that seems to be very reliable is Funstock. And that's what I've done with the 4 games, the Oliver Twins collection, Xeno Crisis, and both the Lynx titles. I've got them from Funstock this time. I've learned my lesson a little bit, I think.
Yeah.
Very well
said.
I
think Funstock will be all right now. I think they've got rid of. They've moved all their consoles onto everybody that they sold them to. I think moving the games will be a lot easier, especially now we're nearly out of this crisis we're in.
Yeah.
That's
it. I don't think we'll have many problems getting them on time from now on.
No. Yeah. What we've got here then. So we had a question a moment ago that come up. Can the Evercade handle early PlayStation or PSX games? If we're talking about that, the Nokia N-Gage handled Pandemonium, which was a PlayStation game, amazingly. If you put that next to the PlayStation, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. I thought, anyway, because I thought I was playing Pandemonium as a PlayStation port. I thought, but that looks.
It will for sure. Yeah, because I know Swing Flip, who's on the Discord channel, he's one of the devs. He has said he's played some early PSX games on it, and it's able to handle them. Now, not some of the harder ones, but some of the earlier ones he has played it. So it is capable, definitely.
See, I was going to say, I heard that as well. That it's been put out as a question to Blaze, hasn't it, in Evercade in general, and they've always said yes, it is capable of it.
Yeah.
It's just getting to that point.
Because I know he was specifically said he was playing Parasite Eve, I think, on it there a couple of weeks back.
Oh,
that's a classic.
That would be awesome. Yeah. So it's there. Again, it all depends on how popular this console is going to end up being, to how much gets put into it, isn't it? Yeah. And of course, it's taken off really well. Yeah.
Totally agree. I think I keep saying totally agree, but I do totally agree. What we've got here then, Battletoads would rock. The new one would rock, and also the other ones, and the arcade ones as well. So if you played Rare Replay, Battletoads on there would be amazing. But you know, if
I read Mad Little Pixels comment earlier, and Ron put up that the new one was I can't remember what the comment he put, but he said it was absolutely rock hard.
Okay.
wow, what we got here next?
Plug your HDMI in.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, I've had no trouble. I was standing outside a chip shop in the bright, hot sun, waiting for my chips, and I was playing the Evercade. And I had no trouble whatsoever with any of the viewing angles or even in direct sunlight. So no problems from my side of things.
I've not had a lot of people are complaining about the screen, but I think for the price point, it's fantastic. And I mean, in fairness, I mean, if you're playing an Evercade, you're looking straight at it. Why are you trying to look at it sideways? You know?
Yeah, I was just going to say that, actually. You know, you're looking at it straight on, aren't you? At the end of the day, you're not looking at it from the side. And at the end of the day, you know, if you're gonna have the same sort of screen as a PS Vita, the first series, or a Switch, are you going to be paying £50–60 for it? No, you're not, are you? You're going to be paying a lot.
No, absolutely not. No. And I'll tell you what, I actually took my Evercade when we went to the seaside with the kids the other day. So red hot day, Whitstable, sitting there playing it, and I could see it.
Yeah.
And now, you know, obviously I wasn't sitting there holding it like that. I was holding it in front of me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it does, and absolutely the price point is the important thing there. You're not going to get an OLED screen in it, are you, for that price?
No.
Yeah.
And if you want a better screen, put it on your TV.
Exactly.
Problem solved.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yep. Evening all. That's a funny horse face. Very good.
Yeah, I know Ed. Podcast, so hello, Ed.
So we've got some comments as well, which are talking about Evercade stock. So I've had no issues at all, apart from when Amazon messed up my order for the Tetnos collection, so I had to go to Game and get it. But I don't think it's damaged it at all. I mean, the launch, and I mean, look how many people are talking about it. We're talking about it, and there's loads of people watching and commenting about it. So we've all got Evercades that are here. We've all got Evercades that are commenting, and all the videos and the YouTubers that have had their Evercade sent to them, they're obviously going to buy the carts and things like that as well, because you can't have a shelf and a display behind without having all the numbered carts, can you? So I don't.
I tell you, that was a very, very clever move by Blaze, wasn't it, to have those numbers on there? Because who wants to miss out on the flipping number?
No one.
Very, very clever.
Very good. Yeah,
and I'll tell you what, I had the only time I had any problem with any of the things I ordered was Amazon, as you said. Yeah. Amazon seemed to let me down quite a few times, although it was repaired in the end and they got them out to me. But yeah, that was the only bad experience I had.
Have you seen Amazon in the US has started cancelling pre-orders, and it turned into a complete mess?
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Nobody knows why, and you know, Evercade have said they're trying to figure out why, and even some of the cartridges, they don't have them priced right on Amazon.co.uk. They're 19 something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And Evercade have said, no, we've told them it's this price, and you know, we're still trying to get them to reduce it. So I don't know what they're messing at, you know.
If I'm absolutely honest, I don't think the Evercade launch has been no different to any other company that launches a game console at the end of the day. Yeah. Not being funny, you got the new Xbox coming out in November. You probably got the new PlayStation 5 coming out in November. Let's see how many disappointed faces you're going to have at Christmas when they can't get one. You know, every company that releases a console, you're not going to make a console for everybody on the planet.
And you remember the Wii at Christmas? The launch,
yeah. Just going to say that.
You know,
especially for a small startup kind of console, it's very hard to balance that number, not to have too much stock and screw yourself versus the demand. It's how do you balance that, and then put COVID on top of that? You know.
Yeah. No. You know, that's the thing. They've done well in the situation we are. You know, at the moment, I think they've done very well. At the end of the day,
they have.
You know, you're not going to get every. You know, they can't stock everyone at the end of the day, and you know, a lot of people have blamed Fun Stock. A lot of people have blamed Amazon, but they can only sell if they've got it at the end of the day, and that's it. You know, once they've exhausted all that stock, there's not a great deal they can do about it.
And like was just said, it's not Sony, it's not Nintendo. They haven't got that backing. They're not Microsoft.
No, they're
They've
not. No.
only got a limited amount of money to be putting into this thing, and they're taking a big gamble at the beginning. And luckily enough, it seems to have paid off, and things can only get better.
Indeed.
Yes. I was going to say, Andy, about that Wii at Christmas. They were sold out everywhere in Grimsby, and it was about 3 days before Christmas, and I walked into WH Smith, and I was just looking on the shelves, and the lady said, "Oh, you after one of these?" And I went, "What is it?" And she went, "It's a Wii." And we've got these 3 games, and I think it was about 300 quid. And
yeah,
I was straight onto the phone to my missus, and I said, "Do you want a Wii for me and the kids?" And she was like, I said, "Right, I'll just put it on the credit card, and I'll just pay it off in my own time then." So that's what I did. So I got one pretty much at launch. I was amazed then, and I've had it ever since.
Brilliant. And yeah, see, there was some luck sometimes, wasn't there? Even in hard parts like that, where you don't think you're going to get one for love nor money. Because the same kind of thing happened with me. A friend of mine, he'd bought one and managed to get his hands on one, and then he went and flaming won one on the radio and sold it to me. So I was lucky.
I mean, do you remember the
brilliant.
Pete? Do you like your minis? Do you remember everyone trying to get the NES Mini?
Oh my God! Do you know what? I had to wait for the second batch to come out before I could get one, and I was lucky that I actually got one. It was just one of those off chances. I went in Argos. I was actually down Plymouth, and I just went in Argos, and I said to my missus, "I'm just going to look to see if they've got a NES," and they had one, and I just got it there and then. It wouldn't have bothered me if it was my last bit of money I had on me. I was determined to get a NES. But yeah, you know, it's these things happen, and you know, sometimes you might have to go on eBay and you might have to pay silly money. You know, I've got a PC engine behind me, but I've got the American version one because I couldn't wait, and I actually got it on the day the UK release come out. But you try and get a UK one now. Do you know what I mean? You go on eBay, you can pay 150, 160, 180 £180, which I would quite happily
why
pay.
I've been putting it off.
Yeah, I would quite happily pay, because I can tell you now, just to own one game on here, an original game, would probably cost you £200. So when people moan that costs £99, you try and buy one game on a PC engine, an original game, £99.
Actually, the last one I bought was, I think it was nearly 200 quid.
Yeah,
and it was. I mean, I was lucky because it's a game that's worth a hell of a lot more than that. It was Magical Chase. I mean, as you know, it can go for anything up to £1,000 if it's, you know, it was only the card, obviously. But yeah, but you're absolutely right. That is nothing in comparison to what you pay for those cards. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but Pete, it looks like you only have the TurboGrafx 16 in your collection. You're going to have to get the Japanese and the UK one now as well, right?
Because the Japanese one, I think, has got 2 extra games in it or something, if I'm right. 2 extra games. But yeah, you know, it is what it is. It's like the NES and the SNES and that. People, you know, you try and buy any of those games on their own, and seriously, they would cost you some mega bucks at the end of the day.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you know, it is life. It's like we've gone on and said, not all these companies can keep stock. The mighty Xbox can't provide stock all the time. The same as PlayStation, the same as Nintendo. And you know, and I'm sure a company like Evercade, no, they're not going to match those giants at the end of the day.
No. Right. So a question that we just missed there was, would you like to see more indie collections? Of course, we all would. I'm sure we would.
Oh yeah.
That would be great on there. I know Pico Interactive own companies like Gremlin and stuff like that. That would be amazing to have a collection just dedicated to those. So what we've got next? What's the next question? So apologies if you guys have done these questions ages ago. We're just getting to them. Evercade should get Retromania. I don't know what Retromania is. And put it on a cartridge. I don't know what that is. Does
the Sega? The Sega Retromania? It's one of the Sega ones, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, one where you get on Android and Apple and what have you.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
There's a wrestling game called Retromania Wrestling. It's hardly that, is it?
Oh, right. Okay. I think I saw some videos that are called Retromania.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
That would be cool. Thanks for the comment, Tony. Yeah, that would be amazing.
Hunter's Moon and Armalite and all of those games would be brilliant.
Got another question from Tony.
I love
PS2.
I love the PS2 as well. So you know, both great in their own ways.
Yeah. I've got some fond memories of the PS2, and I've also got some very bad ones as well.
My fondest memory is because I used to be a postman going back to when that came out.
Yeah.
And at the time, all my customers, they knew I was gaming mad. So not all my customers, but a majority of them all left me out a tip that year because they knew I was trying to get one, and the postman wage wasn't brilliant back then. And I think I ended up taking home from my post round nearly £800 in tips. So I was off straight down to Woolworths, PlayStation, Pro Evolution Soccer, off home, and that's all I did over Christmas.
Wow, we've got some comments about the screen, the actual screen we've discussed that earlier. So by all means, it's a personal preference. Yeah, if they had more money put into it, of course the screen would be better quality. But what you're paying for is really good. I mean, I like the Tiger handheld games, and that's not even a screen. So you know, it's what you pay for at the end of the day. But like people have said, it's a bit of a letdown, and people said it's a comment. I think I can put the comment on here to say that. It comes up here. There we go. But we discussed the comment earlier, but I don't think it's a real letdown. I just think it's what you paid for at the end of the day. I paid $79.99 for mine. I had the premium pack, and it's been great. You know, look at it here. Look, I think we've all got our Evercades with us. Look at that. If we all,
I've got mine.
Yeah, there we go.
My Josh has got mine, so I've got the box.
Hey. So yeah, Evercade.
I honestly think that it's only going to be months until you're going to see people saying you can send them into them to be modded, and then it's up to you if you want a new screen. I'm perfectly happy with my console as it is.
I think the screen is perfect. Screen's perfectly adequate for the games you play on it.
What cartridges have I got? Do you think? Or did you see it?
Data
Oh, Data East.
Oh,
bad boy cartridge.
Yeah.
Yes.
Go on, what have I got in there?
Pico?
No.
Atari with the red text?
What's the high score challenge? Yeah. CR's Revenge one? Yeah.
I know Josh has got a Pico in ours at the moment because that's his favourite cartridge.
Yeah, Pico is a great cartridge. Very good. What we got here then from Tony Walker. Dreamcast went head to head with the PS2.
Right.
Yeah.
I never had a Saturn though. I had the PS1 at the same time. So for me, it was my PS1 going against my Dreamcast.
Yeah. I never had a PS1.
Love the Saturn.
Thank you, Bob.
Yeah.
I think you know. I think you know. There's always going to be somebody who won't like something about it, but when the fact of the matter is that for what we're getting in this day and age, it's brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, everyone has an opinion.
You know, with all this fanboyism, I don't really get it because every console has its own merits. And I've never really got it where someone's just a die-hard Nintendo fan or just a die-hard this fan and that fan, because you're missing out on so much. Yeah. If you look at the whole, you know, that generation of systems, you're missing too much if you just, I only play Nintendo Switch or I only play PS4. I think you're missing out. You really are.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't play a PS4. I mean, the only PlayStation, I stopped at PS3 because I only focused on online gaming back then. So the PS3 weren't really good for me. And I couldn't get used to how bad the interface was for the PS3. So yeah, I've not touched a PS4 or not going to touch a PS5. I'm an Xbox person because I'm a Dreamcast fan because the original Xbox was basically a Dreamcast 2. So I've just kind of gone that route after the Dreamcast.
But at the same time, you're not slagging them all off, are you?
No, I wouldn't. I mean, when I go over to my brother's house and see a PS4 and see him playing some amazing games, I mean, I saw Heavy Rain on the PS3. I mean, incredible. So, I would never. I would never slag off another console. I never did that back in the day when it's SNES versus Mega Drive. You know, I had a Mega Drive, and right, so we've got another question.
Sorry.
Oh, go on, Karen. Go on, sorry, but do apologise.
I was just going to say that for me, it's about the games at the end of the day. And it's always about the games. I don't care what console it's on. I don't care what it looks like. It's the gameplay. If that game keeps me playing it for hours on end, that's what it's all about at the end of the day. It's getting that satisfaction at the end of the day. It doesn't matter whether it's being played on the Wii or an Xbox or PlayStation. You know, that's me. I'm a gamer at the end of the day. That's why I've got this huge, well, not huge, but all these different selections behind me. I just haven't got one, and it's the same upstairs. All my main consoles. Yeah, I just love them all. At the end of the day, it's the games. It's the games that matter.
Exactly. Yep.
All right, so it's me on the full screen now. I've not been on the full screen for a second. So whilst we've got Roger not here at the moment, so we've got a couple of questions to read through then. So what would you rather see, a what's that, C64 collection, or well, which I'm not a big C64 fan, so what would you guys want to see?
Good question. I'd go for Talos. I thought they were a great publisher back in the day.
Yeah.
Really a lot of their games, but Epic's did some great games as well. You know, so a lot of the sports. If it was a sports game on the C64, you know. So
yeah,
I personally a Talos, but they'd both be great. I think.
Indeed. I'd like to see both, if I'm honest. Stick both on one card, probably.
I'm a dreamer. I want to see the Game Gear collection. I really do.
Yeah.
Oh wow!
What's the chance of that?
Well, the Game Gear Micro.
I've always published. I really think they could get Sega. I really do think they could get them.
Oh,
because they want to release. They want to release on everything that's going now.
Yeah. Sega seem to be selling a lot of licenses and are pretty good. And you know, of all of the big boys, that's one they could talk to, I think.
But nobody wants the Master System or Game Gear games, so Evercade could just go straight after them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they could.
Remember, for Master System and Game Gear in Brazil, there's a whole massive library out there because they were still playing them in 2005 when we were on PS3s and that.
Absolutely, a huge market.
Yeah. I mean, the Game Gear games that are included in the Sonic Gems collection or Sonic Plus collection for the GameCube was. And the Master System games are great, you know, and I've just started to buy back Master System games again, and I've got a collection of Game Gear games, and what a better way to play it would be on a handheld that's well easy to play emulator games legally. So yeah. And
a nice modern screen without having to rip your beautiful original hardware apart.
Yeah, totally agree. Right, so we've got a big bold question here then from Yoshi. Yoshi Games, what's your favorite game on any console in the world? Well, I mean, for me, it's gonna. The thing is, mine's House of the Dead 1, but on the Sega PC. You know, not a console. So if I'm going to talk about console, then it's going to be House of the Dead 2 on the Dreamcast. That's for me. So, Pete, moving on to you. What's your best console or favorite console? Wait, a favorite game on any console in the world? Yeah, sorry.
If I'm absolutely honest, it's a game I said earlier on, Skies of Arcadia. I don't think I've ever actually bought a game, came home, put it straight in, and completed it from start to finish.
Wow.
So, yeah, to me, it'd be Skies of Arcadia. And then wanting to then do it again, if you know what I mean, completed it and then wanted to play it again, you know, and yeah, I could even load that game in now and play it. I think it's just, to me, it's just an awesome game. But that is a very good question.
That's a very good question.
Very good question.
So, Andy, what about yourself?
For me, again, I'm afraid it's a tie. It's Eternal Darkness on the GameCube and Silent Hill. Hill. I love, that's my favourite genre, survival horror. And those two are just awesome bloody games. And I wish Nintendo make another one of the Eternal Darkness games. Please. And to think it was made by the same guy who made Mario. Jesus.
Martin, what's about yourself?
Yeah, so I'll give you a PC and a console. So PC would have to be Half-Life. I absolutely love that game. Just a fantastic game. And on the console, it would be what's playing here? Soul Calibur on the Dreamcast. I love that
Soul
game.
Calibur.
Soul Calibur.
But at the time when it came out, it completely amazed me. I just thought before the arcade is in my house, you know.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Right, Roger. How about yourself?
Don't do it to me. I don't know. There's so many. I could say N64 with GoldenEye because when I played multiplayer, I loved that.
Yeah.
Dreamcast, Tony Hawk's 2, something like that. PlayStation 3 was Resident Evil 4. I love that. There's just so many. I've got you know, I suppose if we go all the way back to the SNES, then it would be Super Mario World, and for playability, nothing knocks that even today. So it is a tough one. I was gonna say to you, James, shall we let Pete do the draw next before we carry on?
Yeah, sure. That's a very good timing as well. Let's
Good point. We're pushing on a bit.
Yeah, do the full draw, Pete. Yeah, and I'll give a quick shout out to Bitmap Bureau today for saying that they'd get in contact with me if anybody didn't get Xenocrisis for the Switch, because I was just bigging it up on the Evercade really, and saying that I can't wait for it. It's going to be one of my favorite games because I love Smash TV and stuff like that. So bring it on. And they said they got in touch with me and said, "Oh, we're sorry, we're pretty much sold out at the moment, but as soon as we've got a few more, which they think is going to happen, they'll get in touch through my Twitter to let anybody know." So if you follow me on Twitter, keep an eye on that.
Cool.
All yours, Pete.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
So basically, guys, we did this competition, and I'm basically giving away my Namco Museum Volume 1. It's still sealed.
Yay!
whoa.
And, you know, I know the guys across the pond are struggling to get it. I don't know why you can't get it, if I'm honest with you, but it's obviously something to do with people who publish it or whatever out there. But we're going to do this. Yeah. I don't know if you can see that. I know my screen's quite bright. Oh, it is quite bright. So I'm doing it on a generated. Well, let me just turn this light off here. You might be able to see it. And it's the only fairest way I can do it. So basically, if I'm right, we got 249. Still can't see it because my screen's out bright. That's Apple phones for you.
Pete, do you want me to find the number?
You want to do what? Sorry.
Do you want me to find the number after you called it out so we can shout the winner out?
Yeah. I'll just shout the winner. I'll just generate it now.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe they should have put this screen in the Evercade.
Yeah.
It would have been too bright. Would have been too bright, wouldn't it?
People be complaining, they're burning their eyes.
Yeah, I know. So I'm going to generate it now, and then. So the number is 111.
Whoa!
I don't know who that is.
111.
Yeah, can't see because the screen's split. It's 111.
Great stuff. So
Okay,
that'll give away.
Congratulations. I'll get Roger to send or email you, or I can email you, and you just give me your address and I'll send it to you.
Have you got it there, Roger?
Great.
What's that? Who it is?
Yeah.
I'm just looking now. Just give me 1 second. I'll tell you in 2 minutes.
Okay, cool.
We'll find
Great
out.
stuff. So yeah. So well done, whoever won that. We'll find out for you in a moment. And what a great prize to give away.
Sorry about that. It's such an overbright Apple screen.
It's too bright. I mean, look, if we I know. It's backlit. It's like a Game Gear.
But congratulations, 111.
Yeah.
Well done, whoever that was.
They're not in the chat, are they, James?
Yeah.
Wow, there's so many messages I've not even got to. So if they're in there, great. I can only apologise if you are in the chat. But if you're not, you know, this chat will this video will go on the YouTube channel, and then here we go.
Okay. The winner is Ben Quayle.
Congratulations,
Ben.
Congratulations.
Well done, Ben.
You have won yourself Namco Volume 1 collection.
Cool.
Nice one. And that is a great collection to have as well, and sealed as well. So always good to have.
Yeah.
Right. So very well done, and thanks for the draw. And yeah, that's all good. We're going to try and get. I mean, some of our questions that we wrote down for ourselves to actually go through. It's been a struggle to actually do any of them because we had so many comments. So we're just going to try and
it's been brilliant.
Carry on to go through some of these comments.
I think it's absolutely great.
So what we've got here then. So we're talking about best games of all time, and this is what someone Christian Lander said here. These are his best games, or best game. That's all very good. I've never played any of them. If that is one game or two games, or I don't know.
Which are 3 good?
Yeah.
Never played any of them. Never played any of the Witcher games, or even seen the series or films or whatever they're doing. Never seen any of that. What have we got here? What's next? What makes Blaze and Evercade different to other retro companies?
Physical.
Yeah, physical and the build quality as well.
Having the game boxes with the little, with the lovely little guides in them.
Yeah, I was just going to get one. Look.
Yeah, that is what makes it different. Yeah.
Which one you got? Which one you got there, Pete?
Volume 10.
Oh, I got Mega Cat Studios.
That is
Mega Cats and Pico.
Hey, two of the best.
I suppose because they're licensed, the retro stuff, you know, unless it's one of the mini consoles, you're basically buying a ROM machine, right?
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
is going to the original developers. Well, they're probably not anyway now because they're gone. It's the company, but you know,
I can always remember as a kid buying a game, and there was no. I can always remember even coming home on a train when you bought a Mega Drive game or an old Spectrum Commodore 64, and you'd sit there, regardless who was around, and take the inlay sleeve out and you'd read it. You'd unfold it and you'd read it. There's no, because it's like buying a bit of vinyl. You know, it's physical. It's something in your hand at the end of the day. And there's nothing
physical.
You read the manual, and the anticipation was, you know what I mean? You'd be so excited for the game. Sorry, Roger.
And I'll tell you what, you know, none of us ever read the books that came with them. Yeah, we never read them. No. We didn't have a look to see how to play the game or anything, but don't we miss them?
Yeah, of course we do.
I'll tell you what, the Evercade little instruction books are good for what they tell you about the games, but if you really want detailed instructions and to know how the original was played, then go to Martin's site. It'll be, I'm sure James will put the address up at the end underneath all the comments for you to read. Martin's site is amazing. You put so much hard work into it. I just don't know why more people aren't appreciative of what you've done, you know. And I will big you up every time because I think it's fantastic.
So I have links to the original scans of the manuals. I'm trying to get them. They're on other sites, but I need to download them in case the links move. So they're all on my own site. But I'm trying to get as much of the stuff as I can. The ones that I can't get are Pico and Mega Cat because they're not old games. You can't get the manuals for them. So I've tried to link to either videos about them or facts and walkthroughs where possible as well. So thanks for that shout out, Roger.
Oh, that's it. And the website's there in the name as well. If you didn't get it, it's evercade.info. It's right there in that's why I put you on the full camera. There you go. It's on there for a couple of seconds as well.
I always wanted to do this.
There it is.
I was going to say something else. I can't remember what it was now. Yes, we're having another competition and a giveaway. What we're going to do is, if you're a member of the group, we're going to push for the membership up to 1,000 members next, and I will personally buy you the 2 latest releases when we get to 1,000 if you win. That's a personal promise.
That's fantastic.
And what else I'm going to do is I'm going to do a competition because there's so many people interested in the question I asked earlier about what games you would like on a cartridge. So in our group, I want to see somebody design an Evercade cover with the games that they want on it. So if it's Konami games, it's a Konami cover. If it's Capcom, it's Capcom. If you're just picking a series out like the Streets of Rage collection, then it's just Streets of Rage. Whatever you want, just make it good. And I'll put a post up soon for both of those, so you can join in.
And something as well, you reminded me there of Roger. You've put it up on your Facebook group. Is one of the guys that's on the Evercade Discord channel is working on the first edition of an actual magazine. Yes. He's done 2 covers, and they look fantastic. And he's going to do, I think, the first magazine on the Atari cartridge, and it looks really good.
That's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Community.
I might get those covers going up as a prize as well.
Look at all these giveaways, all these great prizes, all these great things that are happening for the Evercade community. All very good. So what we've got next then, let's go through the comments as well. So, and also congrats to everyone that game there as well.
Real thank you for joining us. You can catch the rest later.
Yeah.
Very good.
James will put it up on YouTube.
Of course, it's going to go live as soon as this stream ends. It's going to go live. Then it takes a little while to be there. But if you've missed it, you can always catch up again. What's your favorite Mario game? Mine's Mario All Stars on the SNES.
Ooh, I don't know. I do like All Stars, and I do because it's got Mario World on it, and I do like Double Dash. I don't know.
I like any of them, to be honest.
I don't like any of them.
Yeah, I'm a die-hard Mario fan, Mario fan, but I have to say Odyssey is beautiful.
Yeah.
I have a soft spot for Super Mario Sunshine on the GameCube as well. I love that.
Oh yeah,
that was a good game. That was.
That was awesome. That new bit where you use flood and what have you. Oh, wicked.
Yeah, it was cool, and the music. It's there's something about it.
Hello.
You know.
Yeah, Calypso.
Hello to the comments. Yeah. I'm not being a Sega fan, but I do appreciate Mario for what it is as well.
It's good fun.
Yeah.
Yep, totally agree with that. And we've got going back to the Mario comment as well. That's going to come up now. Mario Galaxy 1.
Ooh, that's a good game.
Yeah, the Mario Galaxies are.
Yep, Towers Adventure from the Pico, the Sega Pico. I think I remember seeing that. Did that have a Winnie the Pooh game on it, the Sega Pico? Can't remember.
Yes, it did, didn't it?
Yeah. I remember seeing that in W.H. Smith's. I got to see it in there.
I think I thought in Toys R Us at the time. I'm sure it was Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah. What's that? Skies of Arcadia would be ideal on the Switch.
Be ideal on any console, trust me.
Yeah, any.
Yeah, Eternal Darkness.
Is it
No. No, it's an awesome game. I know a lot of people think it's boring, but it's not once you get right into it.
No, I mean, I've only recently picked it up, and I'm looking to play through it soon because I've been buying some GameCube and Wii games recently, and I didn't realise my Wii that I've got is backwards compatible with GameCube games. So yeah, I'm gonna play through a lot of them.
Yeah.
I've got about 20 Wiis, and I think all of them are backwards compatible. I've been lucky. Been getting them from boot fairs because what I do is I do a lot of them up and then resell. You know, I trade a lot, and I've been very, very lucky with getting the backwards compatible ones. But I tell you what, if you're going to play Eternal Darkness, lights off when you play it. Those little noises that come in the background, they do your head in.
And I was going to say, if you buy a Wii U, there's a mod on it so you can play your GameCube games in HD.
Wow! See, I did not know that.
You mod it, you can play all those games on your HDMI. And that's
Josh has let me down. He didn't tell me that.
Yeah, I read it the other day actually, and I thought, I'm going to keep an eye out for one.
Oh, I certainly will now. Yeah, I'll be looking out to do that to my one.
And as it's a soft mod, you don't have to do anything to the inside, so you know.
Oh, that's brilliant. Yeah.
So we're up to date with all the comments. That's everyone done now, because I think everyone's gone to sleep now. Because look at the time. What is it? 10:20 at night. So,
was there anything else on the questions, James, you think we should answer?
Let's have a look
to know
through
how
our
Martin
ones.
started his channel.
Sorry?
I'd like to know how you started your website.
Oh, it was because I didn't know much about the games, and I started looking for the manuals. And then when I started looking for the manuals, I said it'd be pretty good to have a website about these. And funnily enough, my wife is studying to be a primary school teacher, and she had to do something in WordPress. So I helped her set it up just a few weeks beforehand, just getting into it. So I said, I could throw it together pretty quickly in WordPress. So I started to just put it up there because I thought it'd be nice to have the collection of manuals somewhere. And then I said, well, why not just build it into a website? Because I work in IT and I put together stuff anyway before, so it wasn't that big of a deal for me. And I just thought it'd be a bit of fun and it'd be a bit of give back, really. That's all, you know. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what. Everybody talks about preserving games and preserving this and preserving that. You know, that is fantastic that you're doing that. And my hat is off to you because somebody needed to look at that as well and preserve that, because otherwise we're going to lose it all, and that is going to be a tragedy. So hats off to you.
Yeah, no worries. It purely came from the manuals because it was really needed, you know. and there's my wife bringing in a beer for me. So days.
So I've got here then. How did
Go
you
on then,
discover
Andy.
the Evercade Fans non-official group on Facebook? So we'll go through each of them and how did we discover it. So I mean, when I was on the official Facebook group, then I found this fan group, and I've been with it ever since. It's a great community of people there, so that's why I've stayed, and that's why this is very important to hear the community's comments and to see you guys in person as well, social distanced, and yeah, it's all good. That's how I heard about it.
Yeah, mine's pretty similar. To be honest with you, I think, as well as having an official group, I think you should also have a non-official group.
Yeah.
I think you've got more freedom on what to say. I'm not here to slander the Evercade. I'm not here to slander any of them because I love all these consoles to bits. But we've all got our right and free speech to say what we want to say about it, and you ain't going to please everybody. So that's, I found it the same as you, James. I just found it through the official site. And, I just joined up, and Roger made me a moderator for it. So, I can't thank him enough for that at the end of the day.
And
with me, I got pointed. I got pointed in the right direction. I was a member of the official. People contact me all the time because I do such a lot of Evercade videos, and they all kept saying to me, "Oh, you want to check this out? You want to check this out?" And I did, and I'm so glad I did. I must say, because it's true, you can speak a little bit more. There's certain things you wouldn't say on an official website because you think, "Oh my God, I'll be in trouble." Yeah. But in a place like that, you can let yourself speak a little bit more, and it's fantastic. Like the fact that I keep having problems with the sound when I plug the HDMI in. I don't know if anybody else has had that issue. I've been meaning to ask this, guys. But every now and then, when I plug the HDMI cable in, I get the sound distortion. I have to turn it off and back on again. I don't know if it's just my unit or what, but it's the only bad thing I've ever come across with the Evercade. It's the only one.
Yeah, I saw a few people were saying that, and one of the tester guys had said he thinks it's because that the HDMI connection is a little bit recessed into it. So depending on the connection you're using, that if they have a little bit of a longer plug part on it, they'll work better.
Oh, so brilliant!
But so that same guy, Swing Flip, he's one of the devs on the firmwares and stuff. He was saying that only recently that it's to do with it being recessed a little bit. But depending, I have a cable I got, I think it was an Amazon Basics Mini HDMI that I got from my Neo Geo Mini, and I've had no problems.
Yeah. I was literally just going to say that the HDMI you get with your Neo Geo. I was going to say that.
I'll try that then, because obviously I've got the Neo Geo Mini, so I'll try that cable and see what happens then. Yeah, because I've tried two now and they've got the same problem, but I noticed, just like you just said, they're the same length. So yeah, it's probably down to something like that. So, yeah, absolutely.
So Martin, I mean, how did you discover the fan group?
I was basically looking for information on the Evercade. When I did put up the website, I was Googling, and I was also looking on Facebook to see is there anywhere else I can get some information to put up on the news section and bits and pieces, and I came across it that way. So I was just kind of looking for Evercade info, basically, so.
Very good. And we're going to move over to Roger then. So, and yourself.
Right. I'll say for Martin though, I was actually at the same time looking on YouTube, I think it was, and I saw Martin had commented something about the Evercade, and I was like, ooh. So I started chatting to the YouTube guy and to Martin at the same time in the comments, and then I think Martin found our channel and come across that way as well.
Yeah.
And Martin's also showed me how to use Twitter, because I couldn't use it before, and now I can even retweet, and I've got nearly 100 followers in like 7 days now. I don't even know how that's happened. Mm-hmm. But I'll talk quickly about how I did the Evercade Facebook group. What it was well, as you know, I'm a huge enthusiast at Evercade and what it can potentially do. And I just kept putting question after question after question onto the official page. And I think they must have gone a bit mad because they're like, who's this posting all these questions? And they're only putting a selection of them up. So I thought, well, this won't do. I need to be asking more questions. So I thought, right, I'll I'll give them a bit of flattery. I'll do a page basically on them, and so that's how the group came about, and everybody started joining, and I've been putting links out everywhere, and it's just great. It's just so friendly. The only thing is we don't really have any rules. It's just be good to each other and try not to bash it, because this machine is trying to give us something that no other company's given us. Access to 40 years worth of games. That's amazing, you know, and that's what I want. I don't know about anybody else.
Yeah.
So I will support it for its whole lifetime.
Yeah.
Totally agree. Totally
and
agree.
Also, Peter's brilliant for modding for me, because he came, and I think he was I think you and Neil were my first mods, and you just backed me up on everything, and I was just like, well, I don't really even know you, and you just thinking alike, and I thought, what a great guy to have as a moderator. So that's when I asked you.
I think,
and on the next one we'll have Rob. You'll meet Rob on the next one, and he's a good guy as well.
It's just that nice community. It's always, you know, it's gaming. You know, how can you diss gaming at the end of the day? You know, it's just, you know, it's something which is part of my life, the same as it is you guys. You know, I'm nearly 50 years old. I'm not going to give up gaming. I'll probably be gaming when I'm in my coffin. Do you know what I mean? I'll probably have to go to this in my coffin with me, you know, because my missus won't want to put up with it, I'll tell you. Bless her. It's that thing.
When James says it's much more, it's got to be fun, hasn't it?
It is. Yeah, it's much more. It is.
Yeah.
It's
much more fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Very
I've done a lot of things in my life, but gaming, it's those memories, it's those times, it's where you've been in those games. It's, you know, when people say, you know, name a good part of a game. You know, I can remember burning so many hours playing GT3. I had to get all those gold licenses, no matter what. No matter how long it took me, all day, all night, how many beers. I let my young son go on it the following week, and I always said to him, whatever you do, bless him, don't delete the saves. I'll get a memory card. And that's what the little bugger did, sorry, by accident. Deleted the saves. Never ever went for golds again. Never bothered after that. Do you know what I mean? Those little things you think about, and you love them for it. And my kids are gamers. You know, my youngest one's 17. The oldest one's 22, coming up 23. They all like playing games. You know what I mean? Because of me. They're not out doing any harm. They're not out doing things they shouldn't be doing. They do something which they enjoy doing, having fun at the end of the day. Whether it's online, whether it's calling names for other people down a headset or what, but they're in your house and they're playing games at the end of the day. And you can't ask for more than that.
Yeah. No, that's exactly. Yeah. All about fun. Fun, fun, and fun. Yeah.
I've got one last question for Andy.
Yeah.
Andy, you know the start of your YouTube videos?
Yeah.
Did you draw those pictures? I have to ask, because I want to know.
Yeah.
I know the amount of people who've said that to me, because my daughter Amy, she's a fantastic artist, as young as she is, and a lot of people thought it was her that did it. But I'll be quite honest with you, I'm going to let you into a little secret here. It's an app. It's photographs with an app over the top, with a filter.
Oh,
that's what it is. I know I'm going to disappoint you.
That's great.
Yeah, that's how I'm going to disappoint
I think
people.
it's brilliant.
It is, and it works really well.
Yeah,
I was so pleased with it. Yeah,
it's the most simplest things work, isn't it? Really, I suppose there's little things like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Andy, my wife, she's put some words to your music. She sings "Any Burger Matters" when it starts going. It's "Any Burger Matters," and I'm just like that, thinking, "You daft cow!" But it's funny. It's brilliant.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and you can put all sorts to it because I've done it myself. Yeah.
Any Burger Matters.
Yeah. It does. When you've heard it as often as I have, it's sticked in here, and I might have to change it soon.
No, no, keep it.
No, it is. It's quite iconic now, isn't it? And I think if I changed it, I don't think everybody would be very happy with me, because I mean, I'm a heavy metal fan. You know, it was quite odd for me to put that on. A lot of my friends and that were like, "Why have you got music like that at the beginning?" I said, "Because it's catchy. It sticks in people's heads."
Yeah, that's it,
yeah, that's why.
Right, so we'll go back to some of our original questions now, because the comments are slightly dried up. We've got a couple waiting to go on, but that's all we've got here. So can you suggest any improvements for the Evercade to work on? So I'll start with that. Let me make me full screen again. I don't know, probably just a link cable instead of getting the multiplayer. Just a link cable between the two. Somehow, I don't know how they're going to do it. Whether it be the HDMI mini port or something, or the charge port, just like the Game Gear did. But that would be an improvement, I think. So, Pete, how about yourself? What improvements would you like to see on the Evercade?
Yeah,
work on?
I suppose they could have had an interchangeable battery compartment, if you know what I mean, instead of that being built in. But yeah, if you know what I mean, I just, you know, something on those sort of lines, I suppose. But in general, no, because I think it's putting the price up, isn't it? I suppose, you know, we would all like to see improvements on everything, I suppose. But to me, it does what it's meant to do. It does what it says on the box.
Yeah,
it plays retro games which I probably wouldn't even have played. You know, I've played a lot of games in my time, but you're playing games which, you know, I never ever played Coffee Crisis in my life. It was one of my best games on there. One of my first games I completed was Coffee Crisis. I would never have played it. Yeah, I would never have played it if it wasn't for the Evercade.
That's it.
Yeah.
Andy, yourself?
Yeah, for me, it's the OS. I know they're going to address the issue with Xeno Crisis and Tanglewood cartridge. It's the background, you know, it's quite bland, and I love the way that's going to look with that backdrop. And I think the OS as such could have a little bit more zazz to it. But other than that, nothing. Just on the OS could be a little bit, a bit prettier, shall we say.
Very good. Yeah, easy one for them to fix in the future as well. So yeah.
Yeah, it looks like they have as well with the Xeno Crisis Tanglewood. If they can do it with that one, they can do it with them all, can't they? Let's see what the Oliver Twins collection and that brings.
Oh, that's going to be amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Martin, what are we saying for that one then?
Yeah, I'm keeping it really simple. What I want to see is some sort of indication of when your save state works and maybe some snapshots of the save states. Because it can be really hard to remember what state you've saved what in. And sometimes, did I press the button there? Because it just goes back to the game. And if you press B for cancel, it still goes back to the game. So I'm pretty sure it's something they're working on and they're going to bring, but just some sort of decent indication of your save state. And it'd be lovely to have those save state snapshots, pictures, if they could do it, because I think that's pretty standard on some of the emulators as well. So they might be able to bring that in.
Like some of the minis, when you save a game state, like the SNES and the NES, you just move it down.
Yeah, but even the libretro, which I think is one of the cores that they're running on, I think on some of those it's pretty standard. So it should be hopefully easy left for them to implement. So it just gives you a little snapshot just when you move the menu down. So it's a bit like Andy said. It's an OS level type improvements. You know, just on the I suppose the usability of the user experience, you know.
Very good. Yeah, and once again, another easy one that they can look into. Very good. So, Roger, yourself, some improvements for the Evercade to work on.
Oh, I know there's a lot of people mentioning the screen. Not that it's any trouble to me. I think it's all right. But if we're going to see a premium Evercade, because I think they will do a premium Evercade for people. We might see the trigger buttons instead of just being one click, there might be a click either side for L2 and R2 as well. So you might eventually see early PlayStation games on it. That could possibly happen. But no, I think otherwise, I think I'm quite happy with it, really. I think the sound's brilliant, especially when you plug it into your TV. I think they've done a good job.
Yeah.
Very good.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, I mean, throughout the whole the course of this chat, we've pretty much covered a lot of the questions that we have preset, which is great because the community have actually asked us the questions, which is all good. We've got one here as well. We've got two that I think I'm going to finish off with, and then we're going to have some. I think there's two more comments waiting to be checked out. So we've got this one here. Says, what would you like to see Evercade in the future? So kind of similar to what we just answered there. I mean, if they're going to make another console, another handheld or a console itself, but for the Evercade itself, I don't know. Like I say, a way to play against, use those multiplayer side of things. You know, because two crew dudes being played on my own, you know, it's like, oh man, I just want to have someone beside me, because the side-scrolling games, I'm never good as a one player. Even Streets of Rage 2 and stuff like that, I need the second person with me. The Turtles arcade game and stuff like that. I can't play those games as a single player, which is a shame because most of those good titles on the Evercade are multiplayer side scrollers. So yeah.
Yeah, mine is
How about yourself,
similar.
Pete? What would you like to see in the future for the Evercade?
Yeah, mine's sort of a similar thing. I would like to see Wi-Fi built into it, because then you could have some real good multiplayer games, with people all over the world at the end of the day, Yeah, I suppose that's it really. And some good developers on there as well. I think they could really do like a development kit, so a cartridge you could put in and start designing some of your own games, I suppose, or anything like that on those sort of lines.
Yeah. Yeah, that was two of the ones I was going to pick. And I must say, like Wi-Fi and to have a developers, that would be fantastic, absolutely fantastic. I think the other one for me is definitely, of course, a home system. That would be fantastic, as we've said already. And the main thing to me, like everybody else has said, more games, more developers. And I think now that it's proven itself, we're going to get more. So I think my wish will come true there. But definitely the Wi-Fi, that would be awesome.
Wi-Fi would be amazing.
Yeah.
Martin, yourself?
Yeah, so maybe some indie games, some actual Evercade exclusive games would be very cool. And if they did put in a Wi-Fi module, it would be fantastic if they implemented some sort of network play for the arcade games, because that's not that popular. There are some emulators that will do online play, but it'd be quite a cool thing, because not that many of them have the original arcade games in that easy use format that you can actually play multiplayer with,
Yeah, I mean, I've got MAME 32K, and I like to play online with that, and like WrestleFest online, like with 4 people around the world playing WrestleFest, Michael Jackson's Moonwalker. So I mean, obviously I have the original arcade machines, and the original ROMs and original motherboards.
Yeah,
obviously, I've got those behind me. I mean, but it's just, I think it's called Killer Rain or something they use as a server.
Calera, I think it is.
That's it. Yeah, because that would be amazing just to have that on there.
Yeah,
But,
and there's one called Fightcade as well, which is quite new. Does a lot of games online, but again, it's quite technical to set up. So to have that possibility to play old arcade games with people online would be fantastic. So you'd need the Wi-Fi module, the software to support it.
Yeah, even just online leaderboards as well, just an incentive to go back to the game, like the challenges that you.
That you could actually have high score competitions with people and have groups. If you could have this concept, communities in there, and you could set up your own competitions, that would be pretty cool.
Like a Yara's Revenge or something like that, like a score challenge.
Yeah, exactly.
So moving swiftly on to Roger.
Well, I know it's been a little slow at the moment, but I'd honestly like to see 2 or 3 games released a month, and I'd like Evercade to do an official subscription where, I don't know, you get a magazine bi-monthly or something, and once every 4 months, maybe a game that they'd only do to their subscribers, something like that, something that makes you really feel part of it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's
good.
I go for the Wi-Fi as well.
Yeah.
Or even the subscription where if you were a collector, you got the games, but they were a bit cheaper because you're buying into that full collection.
Yeah.
So you'd only pay a tenner, and that would include the shipping to you, and it might even be like demo games in advance of them coming out, so you get them like 6 months before, saying, "Well, what do you think of these games? Let us know here or there what you think, and we'll see if we can fetch them to the Evercade."
Yeah, that's a good idea. What do you guys feel about special editions of some kind?
Yeah,
I know it's been mentioned before on my channel. People have said they would like to see special editions. I don't know how I feel about it. I think we're milking that market already.
Do you mean the games or the consoles? Yeah. Sorry?
The actual games.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it.
Yeah. It's because, what I suppose you could put a poster in there, but I wouldn't put the poster up. Do you know what I mean? Because to me, I'd want to keep.
Yeah, that's it. You want it in your collection.
It is. Do you know what I mean?
Well, if by special edition, Andy, you meant like homebrew games or something, like Atari Age, and they could get Atari Age to sign up and put them all onto a cartridge, I think that would be amazing.
That would be good. Yeah, that would be good. I think what people were asking me on my channel was, you know, special editions like we get for the Switch, for the PS4 and whatever, where they have a figure with it, where they have this with it, that with it. And I think it's too saturated, that market. It wouldn't appeal to this market.
No.
No.
That's my feeling on it.
You're kind of going beyond that, you know, where people think, you know, it's great to get the 15 quid for a cartridge. You're heading into the 30, 40 territory then.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's what I don't like about it. I like the price where it is and keep it there. Yeah.
The thing is, I think you're getting the added bonus of the manual, the little booklet.
Yeah.
Which you don't get.
You are, yeah.
You know, that is the sellout on the carts, if I'm honest with you. Not saying the game.
That is already the special edition, just having that in there. Yeah.
That's it. Right, so I think there's one more of our comments and two, I think, of their comments. One of them might be saying goodnight to us, but let's they've probably gone to sleep now. So what we've got here then, what's this comment?
All of them.
Oh, that's a hard one.
Yeah.
Panzer Dragoon Saga.
So let's start off then. What we got then? So Sega. So big fan of Sega. Have been all my life. So I'm just remembering now that if it's just one player games that I'm going to focus on. So you know, can't play Sonic 2 because it's, you know, that's just a waste of an option. What would I pick? Gosh, if they did Sega Saturn emulation, it'd be nice to have Sega Rally on there.
Oh yeah.
Trying to think now. Gosh, my goodness. Oh my god. I'd like Sonic 3D on there because it would work different on the handheld, the isometric view. Probably the older Fantasy Star games would be good, but yeah, just not all the normal Sega packs that you throw in for the Mega Drive games. But I like Game Ground and stuff like that. So I don't know. If I was gonna say one, it would be great to have like Sega Rally on there. I mean, the PC port, you know, is doable. So it's a Windows 95 game. So yeah. Anyway, that's my suggestion. Sega Rally, if they could pick any game. How about yourself, Pete?
Jesus, yeah. That's a good question, that, because there would be so many I'd want on there. Sega Rally would definitely be one of them. Virtual Fighter 2 would be another one.
Gosh,
but to me, which I reckon would be ideal on the Evercade, is Super Monkey Ball. Yeah, Super Monkey Ball for me, I reckon would be absolutely awesome on the Evercade.
Makes that worked well on the N-Gage, didn't it? That Super Monkey Ball.
Yeah.
Awesome on the N-Gage, yeah.
Yeah, I think that would just be that would be a brilliant game. I think that would, you could spend so many hours playing that. I think.
That's it. You can even do Space Channel 5 and stuff like that, couldn't you? It's a pretty simple game. So
yeah.
I like that.
I was going to say Samba de Amigo, but you need the maracas, don't you? So I don't think that would go down too well, would it? Really?
No.
Not with Nintendo, wouldn't.
Yeah.
How about yourself, Andy? What do you think?
I actually would like to see. It's not. I know I would love to see Super Monkey Ball. I totally agree there, as a single title. But I'd like to see 32X games hit it. That would be interesting because that's not been done. So I would love to see a collection of 32X games, like as a Sega collection. That would be interesting because a lot of people have missed out on that so much. They didn't have the mushroom, you know, to play them. So yeah, I think that would be a good cartridge.
That's it. Virtual Racing, Doom, so many great games there. Star Wars. So yeah.
Absolutely. Spider-Man.
Yeah, Spider-Man. Martin, how about yourself?
I would love to see a Wonder Boy collection. I love the Mega Drive Genesis Wonder Boy games, and Wonder Boy in Monsterland and Wonder Boy 4 are fantastic games. And I loved Wonder Boy and Monsterland in the arcade as well. But the Wonder Boy series, I'd love a collection of that.
Incredible. Yeah, really good. And yourself, Roger, what would you choose if you could have some Sega games on a cartridge? What games would you put on there?
Well, I think I'd go for some arcade games. I think I'd probably go for something like Afterburner or Outrun or maybe Golden Axe, something like that.
Yeah.
But the arcade versions, because they just knock the socks off the home console versions.
Totally agree. Yeah, I mean, I do like my little Master System version of Outrun, but yeah, the arcade versions of that is 1,000 times better.
The good thing is with Sega kart is there's just so many brilliant games. That's the thing. I don't ever think you could ever have one cart Sega games, if you know what I mean, because there'd be that many of them. You probably have a 1 in 10. You just didn't say
multiple parts. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is what I said about licensing game series off the publishers, because some of them might want like millions to publish the games, but they might want less to do a series. And I think there'd be loads and loads of people who follow all our channels that if you offered them something like a Sonic Collection or a Golden Axe or Outrun, they'd be like, hell yes, I want that. And they'd be straight after it, and they would make their money back just like that.
Yeah, Sonic Collection would go well. I mean, I know it's been on everything, but yeah, you probably wouldn't get Sonic free on there. But yeah, some of the obscure ones like Sonic Championship, Sonic Fighters, even Sega Super Sonic, the one that's in the arcades, a trackable version, you know, and stuff like games of Sonic Jam.
Sonic 1's better on that anyway.
Yeah.
The N-Gage version of Sonic was really good, and the Game Boy Advance and stuff like that. They could use those.
Yeah.
So,
because that is actually a port, isn't it, of each other? Yeah, that's it. Yeah, because they used the same ROM, didn't they?
They did. Or even the Tiger Game.
A Neo Geo collection, Neo Geo Pocket Collection would be fantastic. You made me think of that with the Sonic, an excellent Sonic game on the Neo Geo Pocket Color.
Yep.
Well, absolutely. Oh, it's awesome. I love the Neo Geo Pocket Color. Love it, love it, love it. That's another one that they have to make it. Oh, we awesome.
See, I think they can get Neo Geo. I really think they can get Neo Geo.
Yeah,
it's appeared on everything now, isn't it? Neo Geo games.
Again, fingers crossed for that one. That would be awesome.
That's
Blaze distribute the Neo Geo X? I think they might have. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not too sure if they were behind that. You know, I've been a Blaze fan forever, even with their, you know, the peripherals and what have you. But I'm trying to think. I think they had some sort of connection to it, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because obviously, I mean, they've had some bad products in the past as well. But you know, but as a general rule, they've been good. But
it's a worse game on the Evercade.
Jim Power.
Oh yes.
Yeah, it's like a platformer on cocaine or something. I don't know. It's just way too fast or something, you know.
Yeah. I think it's the. Oh my God, what's the game's called? The Dark Souls game of Evercade, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. I've got to totally agree with that.
Yeah.
Night, mate.
Take it easy. Unless you've already gone hours ago. But I think that is all the questions. We're all up to date with our own questions and all the comments from everybody else. So I think we're pretty much done here then, guys. I think if there's nothing else to say from anybody, if anyone's got any announcements they want to say.
I think
one question we did miss was our absolute favourite, wasn't it? Oh, we covered that. Our absolute favourite Evercade game.
Oh,
absolute favourite Evercade game.
Our game.
Yeah. Yeah, separate, individual title.
Yeah.
Oh yes. Apologies, I didn't see them. There we are. That's that. Favourite publisher for the Evercade.
I'm so passionate about mine.
Yeah.
So I mean, I like Data East. So the Data East collection for me for the Evercade so far. But my favourite. I mean, I can't wait for the Codemasters one to come out though.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't wait for that one, if I'm honest. That is probably one I am looking forward to, is the Codemaster one, because I just used to absolutely love the Dizzy games.
Oh, Dizzy.
I mean, some of the games, Dizzy-wise, is it, because I've got the Amstrad versions of the game, are they going to be like the NES versions of the games? Is that what they are?
Yeah.
NES versions, yeah.
Yeah, because the Dizzy games I've got.
Yeah. I suppose my best cart is the one I've got in there now, which is Mega Cats.
It's the same screen as your phone.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh no, you can see it.
I can see it clearer now. Look.
I see something.
Hey.
I can see something.
See? So this goes to show that this screen is brilliant and the iPhone.
Yeah.
Better than an iPhone screen. I can see it.
Last one, yeah.
But no, my best game was Coffee Crisis. It was the first game I completed. yeah, it's just a brilliant game, really. No, and the Mega Cats one is always one I always went back to all the time. I like all the carts, if I'm honest. A little bit ropey on the Atari ones, but like I said, I was never a sort of a great Atari fan. Nothing against Atari or nothing like that. I just, I suppose, really, I got too much done into the ZX Spectrum and Commodore 64, and I just didn't really sort of look into the Atari side of it. And E.T.
Yeah.
Go and dig a copy up.
E.T. put me off.
Yeah, literally dig a copy up.
How about yourself,
for me,
Andy?
It's for me, it's Tanza. All round Tanza. I love that game. I love the fact that it's a bit like a shoot 'em up, which is one of my favorite genres. Yet you're still on the ground. It is so challenging. Oh, it's a gorgeous looking game, and the soundtrack is just superb. I love Tanza.
Tanza is a great game, yeah. And that was one of the only games that I struggled with the HDMI cable with the sound distortion.
Right, yeah.
So when I did my top 5 video, it's a case of how many times I've actually played this little bit of the game before I can actually get some footage. But playing it on handheld,
I had
perfect.
exactly the same problem. I must have re-recorded that about 7 times when I did my play on of it.
Yeah,
and it is that one is particularly bad for it.
And it's a great soundtrack as well. And I'm just so annoyed that I kept having to just play it, but it doesn't matter. It's a great game. I think it make number 2 on my list. I think it might have done, but very well said.
It made number 1. Yeah, number 1 on my top 5, and it deserves it, and it deserves 2 or 1.
Great, yeah.
It is fantastic. Yeah,
great choice there, Martin. Yourself, a favorite game or publisher for the Evercade?
From the publisher, I think I like the Mega Cat one the best, and my favorite game I think is I've been playing a lot. I think Old Tower. I like that a lot. I just think it's a very cool little game. I really like it.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
You know, and you can take your time at it, but it's so fast. You know what I mean? It's just a lovely little game. I really like Old Tower.
Yeah. Very good choice. Very good. And yourself, Roger?
I think I'm with Andy on this one. I think Tanza is amazing. I think it's nice, bright, colourful, and it's got a kicking soundtrack. I think it's a brilliant game for the Evercade. It's not retro, not really. It's more modern than anything else on there. So yeah, it just shows it's not just a retro console.
Exactly. Yeah.
Exactly. Wow. I mean, look at that. Nearly 10 to 11 at night. We've been chatting all about Evercade and everything and retro gaming, and great comments from everyone in the comments field as well. So if, it's the first session of this, first live session. Thanks, Andy, for being a special guest as well. And thank you guys all from the panel as well for being here.
Absolutely. Thank you for inviting me, guys.
I was going to say
Great.
Thanks, James, for hosting it.
Yeah, thanks, James.
Thanks very much. Thank you, Andy, for coming on.
Thanks for everyone. It's nice to see a face, you know what I mean? A face to a comment or a name when you're looking at it on Facebook or whatever. And yeah, it's nice. And it's what makes this community great.
And yeah, it's brilliant, Pete, that you and Martin are here as well.
No worries.
Two of my chat buddies who I'm always chatting to, so you know.
Yeah. That's it,
I chat to Martin and he's like, I'm off doing something. It's like, I'm sorry, Martin, I just keep chatting away.
I can honestly can't wait. I can talk about it all night, but you know, like I've got work in the morning. That's the sad part of life. You know what I mean? We got to work our gaming time and work. You know what I mean? But
I know. I feel so guilty, Roger. I'm trying to work. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no.
If it wasn't for COVID, I wouldn't be able to reply so quick because I'm working from home.
Yeah. My workplace is very needy. You know what I mean? That's the problem with them. So. Yeah, but it pays for this stuff. You know what I mean? That's how I look at it. You know,
that's what it's all about.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Hopefully, Andy, you'll do another one with us soon because it's been brilliant.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant! Yeah, I would be
When's
honest.
the next one, Roger? When's the next one? Or James? When are we going to do the next one?
Tomorrow.
I don't know.
No. I don't know.
I mean,
2 weeks time or something.
Yeah, I mean, what I'll do as well, I'll put in all the comments below, so about everyone's websites and their Twitter names and handles and Facebook group links and all that sort of stuff is all going to be in the description below. Probably tomorrow when I edit this video when it appears. So, you know, if you've just tuned into this bit or you're recapping it, you know, you can check out everyone's channels and pages and everything. So that'll all be below in the description as well.
And last shout out, Ben, get in touch with us. You're a winner.
Yeah.
Yes, go on, Ben.
Well done.
Got to have that Namco
Well done,
cart,
Ben.
I'll tell you, because it is brilliant, that Namco cart.
It is, yeah.
There's an awesome
If I'd had Volume 2, I would have chucked that in as well. I was going to buy it, but I can't get hold of it. I was literally, Roger, was going to buy the second one, actually, and just do both. Because I know some people have found it really hard to get this, but I found it hard myself to get it. I just, do you know what I mean? But it is what it is at the end of the day.
I know one of my North American subs, he said to me, he's got a channel himself, Fat Ugly Toad Show, and he said to me he thinks it's a licensing problem with the Namco ones.
Yeah,
he wasn't 100%, but he thinks that's what it is.
Yeah.
But that's a good thing.
Yeah, I think that's what it is as well.
You know, a lot of people moan because they can't find stock or they've run out of stock. But to me, that's a good thing because it means it's selling at the end of the day. You know, and you can't get any more better than that. And if you've got to wait for the next stock to come out, then so be it. You know, it's just the way it is.
I mean, I'm going to buy the American starter pack because that doesn't come with the Namco one like our one does. It has got a different artwork on the front, so I'm going to have to buy that one somehow. So.
Yeah, that's me again. I'll be. Oh dear me, I'll have to do the same. I have to have it all.
My problem is it's like the Dizzy collection, the new other collections, the Lynx one. I've had to buy 2 of them because I want one I want to use and one I want to collect. So it's quite expensive. Quite expensive for me. Do you know what I mean? But I'm happy to do it because I'd rather give the money to these and keep this going.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I'm quite happy to buy 2, and maybe in a way, I buy 2 means that someone else might have to go without. But you know, my answer is, but I want to keep the Evercade going. That's my answer. You know.
Yeah, and that is a good answer.
Absolutely.
And a good way to finish off the show as well. So, like I say, I want to thank everyone for being here in the chat and the panelists, and it's all been great fun. So, signing off. Yeah, you take care of yourself, everybody, and thank you, everyone.
Yeah, you too.
For being part of this.
And you, Andy. Thanks,
Take
Andy.
care, guys.
Thank you. It was an honour, guys.
Cheers, guys.
Thanks, Andy. Cheers, Roger, Martin, Andy, Pete. Thanks, everyone. Take it easy. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.